Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an online service business that helps convert video to audio. The site makes right around $3,700 per month in net profit, and the listing number on this one is 40254. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller Nathan with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Nathan. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Justin.
All right, man, let me do a quick summary, and you could stop me if I'm wrong about any of this information. The site was built in December 2009. The monthly revenue on this is $3,895 a month. That's a 3-month average. Expenses come in right at $193 a month. We're looking at net profit of $3,702 over a 3-month average. It's built on the Django platform. We're using a 30x multiple on this business due to age and some of the details we're going to get into in a bit. There's very little work with this one. It's a passive, mostly SaaS service. In terms of traffic, we're looking at somewhere between 200 and 250,000 page views a month. Does that sound about right?
That does.
Cool, man.
And when you say Django framework, it's built in Python programming language for the back end and uses Django framework for that. And the front end is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
All right, Nathan, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running websites and online businesses? Give us a feel for kind of how you got started and what your experience is.
Sure. I've been building and running sites for about 5 years, and this site was actually the first I ever built, and it was kind of my learning site as well as the biggest one that I've been running so far. It taught me how to code, how to work servers, how to do SEO, how to monetize a website. So this one is my first site, but it's also my best one that I've been running for the last 5 years. And every other site I've had since then has kind of built on my learning experience with this one.
Now, the site helps convert video to audio. How did you come up with that niche? How did you see a need in the marketplace, and what made you go about wanting to solve that problem?
Actually, I started this site because about 5 years ago, I was really into YouTube. I liked watching YouTube videos and listening to music on YouTube. And back then, I was using other online YouTube converter websites, but they were either slow or they didn't work, or they were full of ads, or just a variety of problems. And this was about the same time that I was starting to get into the online business and building websites. So I thought, why don't I just build a site as my first one as a YouTube converter so I could learn how it works. And so that's why I chose this niche, is because I had a personal interest at the time. So I built the site. I did a little bit of coding myself. I also outsourced a lot of it, the technical stuff I didn't know, to freelancers like on Upwork, or used to be called Odesk, now it's called Upwork. And after I built the site, because it's custom coded, it worked very well. Conversions were very fast. And I thought, wow, this is great for me. I really enjoy it. And I thought, why don't I offer this service to the public? Because if I enjoy it this much, perhaps other people will. And once I released it to the public, it just kind of took off. More people started using it every day, converting videos. So I instantly realized that I had a product that was in demand in the online space.
Tell me a little bit briefly how the site makes money. People come and pay you for what?
They pay for a monthly membership to the site to get unlimited conversions. There are a few different tiers of plans. There is a plus plan, a pro plan, and an unlimited plan. And the difference in the plan is the type of conversions you can do, the file type, as well as the length of video file that you can convert. So the most basic plan, you can only convert videos up to 5 minutes and certain file types. The middle plan has more file types and longer conversion length. And then the unlimited plan is unlimited. It's unlimited conversion length, all types of file types. You can convert audio and video. So the pricing difference is kind of what you get. In addition to the different types of plans, customers can purchase, most basic is a 1-month plan. They can purchase a 3-month plan for an additional discount, or they can purchase a 1-year plan for a even bigger discount. So the longer they purchase, the more savings they get. And this is all reflected on the sign-up page.
So you've got 3 plans, and depending on the plan they choose is the file types and also the length of the audio or video. And then based on that, if they pay up front, if you get the cash in hand, you're going to give them a discount for that, longer membership, the 1-year membership, for example.
Right. And the site kind of follows a freemium model. And what I mean by that is all new visitors to the website are allowed to get 3 free conversions. And the reason is because I want people to use the site and realize how easy and simple and fast it is to convert YouTube videos. And then after the 3 conversion limit, then they're blocked because otherwise nobody would sign up as a member.
Yeah.
But it's a freemium model, and then kind of like all the other freemium sites out there, if you like it and you're willing to pay, you can get unlimited access, and that's kind of what I'm selling.
Can you tell me, what's the breakdown of customers on the level 1, the level 2, and the level 3 plan?
Sure. The most popular plan is the 1-month plan, of course. There are about, I would say, 70% of all new signups are the 1 month. And then I would say about 20% are the 3 month. And then every once in a while we'll get a 1-year sign up. But that's okay because the 1-year signups are prepaid for the whole year up front. So actually the dollar value of the 1-year plan is much, much higher than the 1-month plan or the 3-month plan.
So of the different plans, which one do people sign up for the most? Is it the unlimited? Is it the first one? Is it the second one?
I would say the breakdown of the different plan types, the Plus, Pro, and Unlimited, from least to biggest is Plus, Pro, Unlimited. I would say the majority is the Plus because it is the cheapest. If I had to guesstimate, I can look at the stats to be exact, but I'd say the majority are the Plus plan. And the really good ones are the ones that sign up for Limited because they realize the value of unlimited length of conversions of the videos, unlimited file types. But I'd say about 70% are the Plus, and I'd say it's about the same ratio, 70 Plus, 20 Pro, and then the remaining about the Unlimited.
It's interesting, as a potential customer, I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, wow, I think I'd prefer the bigger plan because, if I want to download, say, a video, whatever, but I don't have time, I want to put it in audio, I want to listen to it on my phone or something, yeah, I'm probably going to get, it's me 50 minutes or something, right? I'm going to want to make sure I have the unlimited. Okay, so I got a pretty good idea in terms of you got 3 different plans, you got 3 different pricing scenarios based on how much they want to pay up front. Can you tell me what your churn rate is on the monthly subscribers? I mean, how long do they normally stick?
The monthly, they stay about 6 to 7 months. And if I could add one thing about the different plan types, if a user is on the lowest plan and they try to convert a video that is above the length of their plan type, there is a message given to them saying, hey, you can't convert because of your plan type and for this reason. We get support emails on a regular basis where users say, hey, I can't convert this video. What's going on? And we always reply, hey, it's because your plan type. But if you wanted to upgrade, we are willing to allow you to upgrade. And all you have to do is pay the additional cost between the Plus and the Pro. And then users upgrade from smaller plans to bigger plans all the time.
And what's the billing platform you're using? How are they charged recurring billing?
We do everything through PayPal. So when a user signs up as a member, they create a PayPal subscription, and everything is automatically billed through PayPal every month. Gotcha. Or every 3 months or every year, depending on their plan.
Okay, cool. We're going to get back to that. Let's talk a little bit about why you're looking to sell the site. Why are you selling it today instead of keeping it for another 6 months, 2 years? Why are you giving it up?
Sure. I've had the site for a long time, and I've put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's a great site, but I've kind of reached my limit on it. I have a few other projects in the pipeline that I'd like to use some of the funds from this sale for those projects. And also because I'd like to purchase a home. I'm not a homeowner, and I think now is a good time to spend some of the money and purchase my own place for myself.
Awesome. We actually had another seller that sold a website. It's about $200,000. And he took the money, bought himself his first home in Australia. So actually a more common reason than you might think. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's good. Let's talk a little bit about the site history. Now, you said you built it back in 2009. This was your training wheel site, man. This is your baby when you were starting off. And so you actually learned a lot with it. Was the trajectory really fast? Was it a quick win, or was it kind of a slower burn, a couple $100 a month, and then it grew out of that?
Actually, when I first built the site, and I just want to clarify, Actually, I purchased the site and domain from somebody else. However, at that time, the site was literally just a text field and a button, and it said convert YouTube videos. I purchased that from the person, and what you see now is everything I've built on it. I had to custom code it from the back end, the whole thing custom coded, because his old system of converting videos was very bad. It was buggy. It was not good. So it was doing conversions, but there was no paid part of the site. There was no membership option. You couldn't search for videos on the site. Literally all it was a field box. You entered the URL and you were sometimes able to convert it, sometimes not, because it was just such bad code.
So here's the thing I really like about your story. You found this basically tool, this free tool that was, working, but was buggy and had some issues on the back end, and said, look, I think I can monetize this. And did you immediately go about changing the tool? Did you change the back end first, or did you change the front end and put a paid option on there?
I started from the back. I built everything from scratch, the back end, the conversion back end, and also the front end. I put a new design on the front where you can search for YouTube videos. If you didn't know the URL, or perhaps you just wanted to search for a different video, I made a new design and a new code base so that you could actually search on the site. There is no need to switch between YouTube and the site to get the URL. If you wanted to search for a specific video, you can do it on the site. So there's no reason to leave.
So you made the site kind of a location that people would go to and actually search YouTube for the videos themselves. And your idea there was you get longer on-page time, you get more page views, that kind of thing?
I wanted users to be able to use my site and not have to leave it at all to do all their conversion needs. When I was using these other sites way back in the day, 5 years ago, I'd have to swap between YouTube and the site, copy the URL, go back to the site, paste it, search for it. It was not an efficient way to do it. So I thought, why not we just add the search option on the site itself so people never have to leave? That way they can search for any video they want, they can go back, they can go forward, they can scroll to different videos and see what they want. So everything was on one site. I'm trying to make it easy for the user, as easy as possible.
Gotcha. Okay, so that sounds like a neat front-end add-on. So you did back-end first, kind of fixed the code, made it a useful tool, then went front-end, added a premium or paid option, and then you realized, I want to keep people, I want to keep users here, I'm going to give them the ability to search and stay on my site. So you started monetizing it. Like, what did you do in terms of monetization or in terms of tweaks and changes that really worked, that was just really effective?
When I first started off, I only had one price point, and I believe it was like $2.99 per month. And immediately, I think within the first week, I got 50 signups, 40 to 50. And I was like, wow, this is great. Because it's a monthly recurring subscription.
Yep.
I was like, wow, I can get 40 people to pay each month. This is great. Then as more users joined, I was like, well, maybe I should increase the price. Perhaps it will still make more money. And I did. So I started to increase the price slowly. And sure enough, other users still join. And of course, there are people that cancel, but there are more people that join than cancel. So the income always increases month by month. And then I was like, well, I want to capture all possible price points of users. I want to capture the people that want to pay per month, but I also want to capture the people that are willing to pay for the whole year up front for a discount, because sometimes I do that. If I value a product and I'm able to get a discount by signing up for a longer period, I'll do it myself. So I added the different pricing plans to the site to capture the users that only want to pay for a month, as well as the users that want to pay for the whole year. So by adding the different price points, I'm able to get all potential users the best option for them to sign up.
Okay, so just allowing people to pay, the amount they want and get the use case they want and then pay as much as they want for as long as they want. You're thinking, I'll be able to reach a wider audience. I'll have more customers because I'm giving them the option to choose what they like. And then in addition to that, you were raising your price points over time. It's recurring, and you figured you'd play with that number to see if you could get it up high enough to where it made sense.
That's right.
All right. So what have you done with the site that didn't work? Were there any failures where you tried something and you're like, oh, yeah, that wasn't a win?
Yeah, I played around with the site like advertising. because I was thinking, well, this is a freemium site, so I want to add ads to it to, give it that freemium feel. If you join as a member, you don't get any ads. So
Yeah.
that's one of the benefits that I had. Actually, I had Google AdSense on there, and it was doing quite well for a while because I had the Google banner ad just right above the download button. So I was getting a lot of misclicks on the ad. And this was okay. It was giving me good clicks through, but eventually Google found out about it and they said, okay, we can't allow you to have AdSense on this type of site. And what they meant was because my site connects to YouTube API, if a user searches for something on my site, it fetches the same exact search from YouTube. And this type of auto-generated content, Google said, no, we don't allow AdSense on this type of site. So that was kind of something that failed. I probably shouldn't have had the banner ad so close to the download button. That's probably what I had such a high click-through rate that it kind of alerted Google and they said, we can't allow it anymore.
That, honestly, that's another thing too. Those advertisers are paying for those clicks. So if they're getting misclicks and they're not actually interested in the advertisement, then that's going to be bad for the advertiser. So from Google's perspective and the advertiser's perspective, those clicks probably aren't as quality as they would be, from something else. Honestly though, man, to be honest with you, I think that was probably a blessing in disguise for you because I just don't think you should have AdSense on the site anyway. Mm-hmm. You're charging for a service, stick to that. Otherwise you're sending, potential customers off-site with these clicks. You know what I mean? So yes. I don't know. I think it probably worked out better for you in the long run. Let's dig into the traffic and earnings a little bit. Give me a breakdown. How much of your traffic is organic? How much is referral? How much is paid? How much is direct?
Sure. So I'd say right now the site gets about 51% organic. So people are coming from search engines to find the site. About 37% are direct, so return users. And I'd say the remaining is referral traffic. And there's a very, very tiny amount of social traffic. I'd say 5% from social media.
Okay. I forgot to ask you this, but what's the lifetime value of a customer right now? Do you have that figured out?
Unfortunately, I don't. And that's because I'm kind of using an old membership system called A-Member. Mm-hmm. It's like a PHP-based system. It did the job 5 years ago, and I haven't upgraded since because I've got the membership base here. I'm not able to tell you that stat on them, but I can see the churn rate. But lifetime value, I can't. And that's something that I've been meaning to take care of. I've been meaning to upgrade the membership back end to a cloud-based system, such as Recurly. Mm-hmm. And that way I can get better analytics of my membership base. I'm better able to slice and dice them to see who does what, the value, the breakdown of the users for the different plans. But with my current A-Member backend, I'm not able to see that.
Gotcha. Okay. So lifetime value, you don't know. You wish you did. And one of your plans was to start switching over to something like Recurly. Tell me, have you done any paid traffic? Did anything work? Did anything not work there?
I've actually never run paid traffic on this site. The reason is because it's not something I've actually learned how to do. I learned how to do SEO, and I did that for the site. And I felt SEO was better also because it's more long-term. Everyone wants to rank higher in the search engines, whereas paid traffic is, once you shut it off, you're no longer getting traffic. So I focus on the SEO part. I haven't done any paid traffic at all.
That's cool. Okay. So some of the people listening to this are like, oh, what is he doing? He should have done some paid traffic. If he knew his lifetime value, he could do that. And that'll be, their opportunity, of course. So, So yeah, I think there's some opportunity there. Tell me a little bit more about kind of the earnings. Are you on a steady incline, a slight decline? Where's your earnings over the last 12 months?
The earnings have kind of declined, actually. At its peak, the site was earning about $5,500 per month, and that was about 2 years ago. Ever since then, the income has been slightly declining to its current rate, what we said now, about $3,800, $3,900. Yeah. And that's because I haven't really put any effort into the site. I've kind of built it up to where it is now, but I haven't touched it in the last year. I just stopped doing SEO because I found out after doing SEO for a year or two that it's just not my boat. It's just not something I'm interested in. SEO is for some people, but it's not for me. I'm more interested in building a site, kind of increasing conversions, making better design, improving on-page stuff. And when I did SEO, I just didn't like doing it, and it was tough. It was difficult for me too. So I just stopped doing SEO on it and kind of let the site just continue to operate without any work on it from me. So it has kind of declined to where it is today.
Okay, a relatively steady decline over the last 12 months or so. Tell me a little bit about how much content is on the site. Have you done any content marketing with the site?
I have not. I did have a blog on it, a WordPress blog on it, and I would create a YouTube article like every 2 weeks or something like that. And I did that for a year, but I didn't really see any jump in traffic. I didn't see I was putting a lot of time and effort into writing these articles because they were all unique. I wrote them, I optimized them for the keyword, but nothing ever came of it. And I thought, well, maybe I just was doing it wrong. Perhaps I wasn't doing the SEO to these pages.
Yeah.
But I haven't created content for the site in over a year.
Okay.
It'll even be almost 2 years. I really haven't done anything with the site for a long time.
Content marketing is tough, and the worst thing about it is you start off working for pennies, right, or nothing, right? Like you're just writing all these articles, and you're like, I hope they come, and am I doing it right? And you don't find that out for months and months and months. So yeah, that's
right.
Definitely kind of the slow burn marketing approach as opposed to paid traffic. But I think there's probably some opportunity for someone to do something there too. And I'm a big content marketing guy, so I can see some stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about the opportunities. Now, we mentioned trying to figure out what your lifetime value is. I think someone can dig through the numbers and get a grasp on that and determine, whether or not they think paid traffic is there. I think if someone can get some paid traffic to this and get it converting, I think that's a big opportunity. What opportunities do you see with the site as the seller?
There's actually a lot of opportunities, and I have a list of things I like to do on the site that I just have never gotten around to. And I think these things that I outline now would be really the places to focus on to make the site better. The first thing I would do is I would upsells to the current products. Right now, if somebody joins as a 1-month member, there is no upsell to a 3-month or a 1-year plan. That right there is an opportunity. If you can upsell somebody right as they purchase, that's an opportunity right there.
Really quick, let me ask you just on that topic, on the upsell topic. Do you have, do you have shopping cart abandoned emails or anything like that? And then B, do you have an email list? Do you do any email marketing to signups?
I have one email that is sent out during shopping cart abandonment, and that is handled by the A-member membership system. And it just says, hey, you created a plan, you created a membership, but you didn't actually finish the payment. Here's a 15% discount if you come back and join, and here's the coupon code. But that's only one email that's sent out. And to answer your second question is no, there is no email list. I have a huge database full of members and emails, but I've never actually marketed to them in a list in any way.
How many are there in that list, by the way?
I'd say there's about 5,000. Actually, I have 5,000 pending users in my database. And so I'm sure a percentage of those are either not correct emails anymore, but when you create a membership, when you create a plan, an account, you have to add the email. And I'm seeing right here, there's about 5,500 users. So.
Gotcha. And then last question before we get back to opportunities. How many active users, subscribers, customers do you have today?
As of this moment, we have 318.
Great. Okay. So opportunity number one would be
upsells.
Upsells, whether it's through abandoned carts, whether it's through email marketing, but basically keeping in touch with the customers and getting them to, pay more money for a longer subscription or, upgrade their plan, that kind of thing.
Right. That's correct. The second place this site could improve is improving the checkout page. It's a good checkout page, but I feel that it could be a lot better. The design, the actual checkout, if you had something like a satisfaction guarantee, if you had a better sales copy to remind the customer of exactly what they're getting, maybe kind of create a product image with clear instructions, that would help improve abandonment on the checkout page. Another opportunity would to be split testing the sales page, varying, you can use Optimize or Visual Website Optimizer, split testing the headlines, the colors, the images, text, video. Split testing the pricing would actually be another thing too. The price points that are there now have been the same for the last 2 years. Split testing the pricing would be huge if you could see an increase in conversions for a plan by lowering or increasing the price. That would instantly add top-line revenue to the site.
Yeah, that's always interesting. The pricing split testing is interesting, especially with recurring businesses, right? Because split test the price and you realize, oh, I'm converting so many more at this particular price point, you change it, and then all of a sudden you find out that they're not sticking around as long or something, right? You've got more signups, but they don't stick as long and your actual value goes down. So that's, you're right. But, there is a ton of opportunity to make money there, but, you got to be careful both, the front end sales that you're getting and, making sure you're tracking how long they stick too, right?
Right. Split testing on the sales page would be huge. Another opportunity is, I mentioned it before, is to update the membership backend. The current one is really an old, outdated MySQL database. It's PHP based, and it's 2015. We should be using cloud-based. Everything's cloud-based now, and I feel that Recurly, which is the cloud-based membership system, would be great because not only is it cloud-based, but it accepts credit cards, ACH, PayPal. You can pay with Amazon. You can invoice clients through that. Upgrading the membership backend would be another great opportunity for the site.
Cool. Okay, so we covered some opportunities that you see for the site. Where do you see the biggest risks? Put your buyer hat on, and if you were considering purchasing this, where would you see like a risk or something that may be questionable if you were looking to purchase?
Well, the traffic has declined and the revenues has declined as a result. That's a risk there, that it will continue to decline. And I feel that it is a valid risk if you just were to buy the site and do nothing with it. Just like any site or business, if you just kind of let it run without trying to constantly improve it, it's not going to get any better. I feel that if a buyer were able to take the site and kind of improve it, add content, do SEO, get some social media traffic, and maybe focus on SEO to improve the search engine rankings, you could definitely reverse that trend.
So to some degree, this is kind of like your abandoned baby, right? That's a bad way to put it, but it was your baby, your training wheels, and you did a lot of work on the site, but in the last year, you really haven't done much with it. You're at the point where you could go back and do all the work. You change to Recurly and do these things, but you're moving on, right? That's basically where you're at.
Yeah, that's right. I've kind of just lost my interest in this site. It was great for the 5 years that I've owned it and built it, but I've kind of moved on to other things, other projects in the last year or two.
One of my concerns, I tell you, as a potential buyer, is I'd worry that, you're talking about you learn how to code, you become somewhat of a developer. Like, I would worry that, what do I have to do if I'm taking over the site? Let's say I'm really basic. I'm kind of a WordPress guy. Is this something I could take over? How much would it cost to convert that? Like, would this even be a possible purchase for me?
It would. Two reasons. One is because there would be no migration of the servers. It's hosted on Amazon AWS, and I've been in contact with Amazon, and they said that they can actually transfer the ownership of the hosting account to the buyer. So there would be no migration. There would be no interruption in service. And the second reason is because I am a coder, but I'm not a pro at all. I know the basics, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and I know a little bit of back-end stuff, but not in Python. I've actually studied more Ruby on Rails. I have a Python coder who knows that the site is for sale, and he has agreed to stay on and be available to the buyer for further additional work on the site. And he is a very good Python programmer. He knows the site inside and out. He's done a lot of work on it. And what's great is the site code is hosted on GitHub, the online repository. So the buyer will be able to see 3, 4, 5 years of coding changes that we've done on the site.
Yeah.
Add the whole history of the site. So you know what was done when and for what reason. It's all hosted on GitHub. So the whole history of the site code is available for the buyer.
So it's a lot easier for, the buyer to bring on their new developer and have them go in and actually see the changes, see the history so that they kind of know what they're working with. Okay. So any depositor on this site, they're going to get more information. They can start to price in, well, the fact that you've got a developer that'd be willing to come with a site and then their own developer and make sure that's something that makes sense for them. My other concern in terms of a risk is that, all of your recurring subscribers right now are paying via PayPal, and that's not transferable. So how would that work?
Actually, I believe it is transferable, and this is the reason why. I have my web development business registered in Hong Kong, and I spoke with my bookkeeper there, and he said that if we were to sell the site, it would be an asset sale, and as opposed to like a whole business, it would be an asset sale.
Yep.
And as part of the asset sale, the PayPal account, since it is a business PayPal account in the name of the website, would be transferable over to the buyer so that there would be no interruption of the billing. You wouldn't have to cancel all the subscriptions, move them over to a new PayPal account, and then start them up again. It would all kind of just be moved over to the buyer,
Great.
to the buyer's name.
That's a big concern whenever you're dealing with PayPal, so make sure that you're going to be able to keep those subscribers. Trying to get them to sign up again is never a good option. You don't want to have to go that route.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the work required on the site. Can you tell me what type of work you do on a daily or a weekly basis?
I do literally about 5 minutes of work a month on the site. I just log in every day, check the stats, check that the site's working, conversions are working. I check the back end to monitor the servers. Everything's good. It's all automated, and that's all I do.
Do you have any customer service questions or issues, anything like that?
Yeah, every once in a while we have customer service questions. We use desk.com as our customer ticketing management platform.
Yeah, how do you like them, by the way?
They're okay. I signed up on a free account with them. It was like 3-4 years ago when it wasn't desk.com then. It was a different name. I forget what it is. I can look it up, but yeah. They were purchased and they changed the name to desk.com, and I've had a free account with them since. And whenever a customer emails us, they get an automated response that recognizes their customer email. And then I just log into the desk.com admin area. I check the email and I respond to them. Most of the time it's a question of, how do I do this, or about my account? And I just, respond to them and send it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask how to cancel. I send them a link on our frequently asked question page about how to cancel. It explains everything there. And that takes, it's all done within the 5 minutes of the site. A lot of times, actually, we'll get inquiries from media buying companies, and I'd say advertisers that aren't as big as Google AdSense. They're like, hey, you've got a great site. You got a lot of traffic. Are you interested in testing out our advertising platform on your site? And that would be a good opportunity for the buyer to actually respond to these inquiries, advertising inquiries, and say, hey, let's test something out. And perhaps, you can increase the revenue there that way as well.
Let's talk a little bit about what kind of skills or requirements there are for someone who, is looking to get into this niche or looking to purchase this business. Now, we already said they don't necessarily have to be a developer. Some skills that might be interesting are paid traffic skills, conversion rate optimization, split testing skills, maybe content marketing skills. What else do you think would be effective for someone looking to buy this?
SEO skills, getting the search engine rankings higher. And also, if you have familiarity running an affiliate program, that would be good too. Currently, there are no affiliates promoting the site at all. Amember, the membership backend, has a built-in affiliate program that I've set at a 50% commission for the lifetime of the membership of the user, but currently there's nobody promoting it as an affiliate at all. So if you could create,
You're not an affiliate guy. You just never did the whole launch thing and signed up affiliates or anything like
right.
that. Okay.
Right. And then if you are good with, autoresponders and email marketing, if you could build a list for this site of potential users that, if you had some sort of opt-in box or lead magnet, you can capture those emails and, engage them later. That would be great. At the same time, if you could set up an autoresponder to have a conversation with the current customers about what they like, what they don't like, that would be another opportunity as well.
Absolutely. I love the email marketing stuff. I mean, paid traffic, capturing emails, letting them do a few free, and then, following up with them later to get them to pay, I think there's some opportunity there. Let's cover some additional information or questions that buyers may have. Would you be willing to commit to a non-compete? As a potential buyer, I'd want to make sure that you don't just, throw up another very similar site and start competing with me, a month after purchase. Would you be willing to do a non-compete on this?
Yes, I would. I'm no longer in this niche. Actually, my new projects are in different niches. I'd be more than willing to share those with the buyer so they know what I'm working on next. Yeah, I'd be willing to sign a non-compete for this.
Cool. Okay. And then how much support are you offering to buyers to kind of get them up to speed if they have questions or need to get, something from you to make sure they can run the business?
I'm offering 30 days unlimited support, Skype, email, telephone call. Since the site will be transferred over, the hosting and the PayPal will be all transferred over the buyer's name. There's no interruption in service. I'd be willing to do 30 days of unlimited support.
Cool. All right. And then the last thing, I mean, obviously as a seller, you'd like to get, 100% of your ask and get it all upfront in cash. Are you open to, though, if a buyer came to you with an option for a split or an earn-out, let's say they want to do 70% upfront and they'll do 30% at closing, or if they said we'll do, 80% upfront and I want to do 20% over the next 6 months, is that something you're open to?
I'm not. And the reason is because, this site has been around for 5 years. I have 5 years of history of earnings and traffic, and I'm offering 30 days of unlimited support. And I can't control the future of this site. I mean, it is on the decline, a slight decline for the past year, but, I can't guarantee anything because that's kind of been a trend because I just haven't paid any attention to the site. So an earnout is not something that I'd be willing to accept. I kind of just want to sell it and move on.
Gotcha. Okay, Nathan, I got it. You're selling it, moving on, not doing any splits or earnouts. You want a cash offer. You're giving 30 days unlimited support, and you will do a non-compete because you're not going to be playing in that space. All right, man, let's do a quick wrap up. This is a service-based site. It's in the video audio content niche, basically converts video to audio. It's got 3 different tiers. And then out of those 3 tiers, they can pay, one month to month. They can pay quarterly. They can pay annually. They can pay it upfront, and you get the cash up front. The site was built in December 2009, so it's quite aged. It's got monthly revenue of just under $3,900 a month, expenses of about $200, and net profit right around $3,700 a month. It gets about 200 to 250,000 page views a month. We're looking at a 30x multiple on this one. And there's very little work done by you. It's mostly a passive SaaS business. Does that sound right?
That's right.
All right, man. Nathan, if you give me your best pitch in the next 30 seconds on why someone should purchase this site, what would it be?
I'd say if you're looking for a site that is 100% passive, there's no inventory, there's no shipping, there's no employees. It's purely a 100% online business that runs in the cloud because it's a digital product, digital service, and you're looking for a SaaS site, this is definitely for you because the income is 100% passive.
Awesome, Nathan. And for anyone, listening to this right now, if you're on the EmpireFlippers.com listing right now, you can look up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. There is a deposit button. If you want to get all the information about this site, including all the earnings details, all the traffic reports, everything, pay the 100% refundable deposit, and we'll share all that information with you. If you're, watching this or hearing this somewhere else, you can click the link in the show notes, go over to the listing page, and get more information about the business. Nathan, thanks so much for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, Justin. Thank you.